Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, good morning and welcome back to the channel where today you join me at the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps, the Formula 1 track here in Belgium for Pure McLaren. Now I'm actually here with both of my McLarens, the Senna and the 675 LT Spyder. But that means we've got one Supercar and one Hypercar, McLaren Super Series and the Ultimate Series. But what are the differences between the two and what makes a Hypercar get that name? There's quite a big gulf in the price difference between the two cars. So what I'm going to do is take one out for a drive, get some experience, get a feel for it on the track before swapping into the other to see how they compare and to find out what makes the Senna quite so special and worth its price tag. So let's do this then, kicking off with the 675 LT. Parked here in the pit lane then. We have a few Sennas around today, that one very, very lovely. But these two cars, of course many of you, the regular viewers of the channel, the squad, will know quite a lot about them already. I haven't featured the 675 LT Spyder all that much recently. The car is almost 3 years old. It's in MSO Orion Purple, the one-off paint colour scheme, but the 675 LT, and it's quite loud when the cars go down the straight here, was the track-focused version of the 650S, which itself came from the McLaren 12C, their first real model. This though changed a lot of things. It has... Oh, another Senna just went by. It has a much larger wing. The Spyder as well, of course it's not the coupe, so it's not completely focused, but it's an amazing car to be driving out on the road. We've got 675 horsepower, as the name suggests, a 3.8 twin-turbo V8, and a car that in my eyes looks stunning. We also then have the Senna, their latest Ultimate Series. I say latest, maybe we could give that title to the Speedtail, but the Senna, named after the great Ayrton Senna, very much a car at home on the racetrack. And you just look at the size of the wing that tells the story. 800 kilos of downforce. It is built to be brutal, all about performance. 800 horsepower in this, 125 horsepower more from the 4-litre twin-turbo V8, but it is all about the active aero. Where the LT has the active rear wing that tips up for the air brake, this wing does all sorts of things, and you also, down here at the front, have those active air blades which also pivot and twist around and move about, ready for the track. So the Senna is sitting down in its track mode at the moment, which actually lowers all of the suspension down. If you're wondering why the front looks a little bit suspicious, to plug in the towing eye, just in here, you remove that panel. It just kind of comes off quite easily. So the guys, the team, the mechanics here at Pure McLaren help with all of those kind of things. The LT, of course, it sits just inside that normal towing eye hole. But there are lots of cars going around, McLaren experiences, customer cars, all sorts of different things. We've got these two though. I think first up is going to be LT time. So let me just come around. In here, no harnesses, but we do have the bucket seats. In fact, there are quite a few differences between the two interiors. This car, you can see it's stripped out, but it's still largely a comfortable road car, we could say. I think these seats are fantastic, incredibly comfortable, great place to be sat. Normal 3-point seat belts inside the carbon tub, whereas in the Senna, we have those small windows. It's all about weight saving. The roof panel lifts up with the door, but it's even more stripped out. Carbon shell seat with these kind of ears that support you even more, but not a whole lot else. Just the telemetry screen in the center. We've got racing harnesses. They're all folded out the way at the moment, but a very, very focused, raw experience. I'm going to come back to that though in a moment. First up is going to be the 675 LT. So let me climb in here. I'll need to pop my helmet on just here at the moment. Bring it into life. Comfort entry, hey? Nice road car. Tyre pressure warnings can be ignored, of course. They are lower, ready for the track today. You can bring up on the display on the left here some tyre pressure information so that you can see how those are. They'll get up to just over 2.1 at the front and 2.2 at the rear when we're out driving on track. We've got a mostly full tank, a warm car that is ready to be experienced again here at Spa. It's time then, helmeted up. I'm going to pop the car into active dynamics, go into track and track modes, manual on the shift paddles. In track you get inertia push. I've got a lap timer running out of interest. This isn't a race or trying to set lap times, but for me to see driving in the same way between the two different cars. The cars do have built-in track telemetry, but I'm going with an app just to see a little bit more information. But other than that, all is ready and set. Let's go into gear, and the track is clear. We're set basically to head straight on out. It's a pretty full day. The track, in the way that the Pure McLaren events are set up, isn't overcrowded, which is a delight. It looks like it's drying out nicely as well. It's been a little bit wetter earlier, but at the moment the tarmac is looking pretty good. Let me just take away those messages for the moment and pop it back onto having the tyre pressure information, which is always good to be able to see these kind of things while you're out on the track. Aircon blowing hard at me. I need to give a quick show of my wristband, make sure all is good. Powers it up, and away we go, out onto Spa-Francorchamps. Now this car has actually driven this track, I think 3 times now, but it's great to have it back. Track's looking empty here, put down the power, we need to get some heat into the trails, but nonetheless as you come down towards Eau Rouge, it still feels pretty special. Air brake goes up, you can hear the warnings of the tyre pressures just until they get a little bit warmer. Even still though, having done some laps already in the Senna, the LT just feels so special. The noises as well. This car, I mean I'm not going for a flat at the moment, I'm still at 240 kilometers per hour, so 250, going down the Camel Straight. And then those cracks. Got to be careful with the curbs, there's still a little bit of water, especially on the Astro sections. Alright, let me warm into it a little bit. I think everything is about to get crazy. There's a Senna behind me. Let's tuck in, let him come straight through. I'm getting on the brakes to let the Senna through. Wow! Wow, wow, wow. Gonna roll it through here. Avoid the temptation to go too early onto the power. There is no way I'm going to be able to keep up with the Senna. I think that's pretty much just given us a nice summary of what's happening today. Foot flat, he is vanishing. He's disappearing from me. As we come through Pouon, one consistent steering input. Watch out for wet curbs around. Feed in the power on the exit. You know what? It's easy to underestimate quite how fast even this car is. Tell you what, I want to brake in towards the bus stop. Even this car, honestly, is so quick through the hairpins here. Out onto the start straight, feed in the power and away we go. La Source T1, following the 720S here. He's seen us, we can go through. It's overtaking by consent only at this event. Up through radio. That's one of the areas where we're going to see a difference between the two cars. We come around the bus stop onto the start straight. 2:49 then, first lap out in the Senna. In the Senna in the 675 LT. Oh, this is quite a compression, isn't it, as you come through the bottom there. Up the backside. Traction control kicked in a little bit, hopefully saving me. It turns out the 675 LT is a really fast car. Definitely at serious concentration state. Stop. Wow. This has been a pretty quick lap. conditions. Let's see what it ends up being. We're across the line. So that was a 244 in a slightly damp drying track in the 675 LT. Wow. So, about 2 years ago, that was the quickest I'd ever done in my coupe. We're on pretty worn tyres on both cars, I will add as well. They both had track days under their belts already prior to today. Let's have a cool down lap. And in any case, 244, that's a pretty cool way to start things off. Very quick. We've got Sennas everywhere, but after that outing then in the LT, which is now being wonderfully looked after, cleaned up. This is what I love so much about Pure McLaren events. The windscreen is cleaned, all of those kind of things. I will need to go and fuel it at some point though, but it is now time to go up a notch to the Senna. For this, of course, with the harnesses, I'll need to go and grab myself a hands device. And again, we've got the built-in telemetry, but I'm gonna have my phone up with the same lap timer running. But the Senna is, well, a league ahead, I think we can describe it as. It is such a more serious track race car. I mean, it's still road legal, of course. Yes, the start button is up on the roof. This is the first time, I think, running today, so we will need to give it a moment to warm up a notch. If I press race mode, it will then configure and pop the car into race mode. I am going to have the full screen open though, but you can see there how the display looks. Obviously all our temperatures are pretty cold as well, but it's just been fueled, so we've got a full tank in here as well. The track telemetry system here, I really like how it shows you things like your brake and throttle pressure. But give me a moment, I'll get my helmet and hands device set, and then it'll be time to take this out and experience it as well. Down the pit lane then in the Senna. So having this car in race mode overrides the active dynamics panel. I've got it in manual, ESC into dynamic as well. Of course, I'm very, very tightly strapped in with my harnesses. Just have to check everything, thumbs up, cool. I'm just gonna make sure, double check that everything is tight enough. Absolutely critical. The seats hold you so well, especially when you have the harnesses on. But of course, again, the strange thing here is we're back to the car doing its first outing for the day. That means cold tyres, cold everything, get it warmed up as we make our way around, do some laps. The tyre pressures have already been lowered in the car. The previous outing, wow, I just saw a Senna go up through radio in front of me, and that looked phenomenal. And here, one thing you instantly notice then, brake pedal pressure is much, much further, or rather you have to be much further, but it's also massively noisier. Massively, massively noisier. Similar feel in the steering, of course you'd expect that, developed by the same company, same people, but speed definitely greater. We were getting up towards about 270 down the Camel Straight, and I know the Senna can get into the 280s down here, so I'll take it easy to warm it up, but you can hear even just the downshift, it's much, much louder inside here. I'm held incredibly securely in the harnesses, so the initial sense of difference between the two is the sense of occasion, the drama. This feels so much more dramatic already, and the other big thing is even just here, the front end just tips in. If I back off the throttle, it dives in even more. Wow, this already, do you know what, driving them back to back gives me a new appreciation of how serious this is. Then when you put your foot down, woo, this is fast, and we've come up behind the other Senna just before Blue on. Let's sneak on round. I think he's probably on a cool down. I mean, I think these are close to the speeds we were just doing in the LT on the warm-up lap. The propulsion, when you do squeeze the throttle, is insane. realised it when I had one go past in the LT. So coming around then for the end of the first lap. Yeah, the time already. 2:43. So my first lap in the Senna, my first lap is quicker already than I ever did in the LT in that session. I think that says the story. Oh, that was fast. 283 there on the dash. It's telling me tyre pressure's low. Clearly I need to drive harder. Put more pressure on them. These tyres are going to be replaced at the end of the day anyway, I think. And we're reeling in that 600 LT. This is the craziest thing. That's a fast car. Thank you very much, sir. So this lap is definitely quicker than the first. We're literally talking my second lap out here. What have we done then? 2:40. Second lap out. I saw that. Oh, wow. So then, that was an experience, and I've been thinking a bit, of course, about this difference, but loosely speaking, it has felt to me like the Senna goes around Spa about 10 seconds faster than the 675 LT. And 10 seconds, when you're talking about this kind of thing, the track is something like 7 kilometers, is actually quite a big number. It is a very, 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 very quick machine. In fact, they both are. But what's also been quite interesting to experience is the difference by having even more air aero. I mean, the LT is not short of aero by any stretch of the imagination, but you feel how much more playful it is, where the Senna is completely planted. Whatever you do, it just corners like it's on rails. Both cars sit remarkably flat. Both cars, of course, are wearing Pirelli Trofeo R tyres. You can see they've had a bit of work as well, and in fact, we've even managed to pick up some nice rubber on there and put that down on the ground. But these two, what an experience to be able to drive them one after the other, to see and get that sense of what's different between them, what makes the Ultimate Series car that level above, in this case a hypercar, as opposed, if we could say, to a slightly more normal supercar. That's £300,000 or so, that's £800,000 or so, $500,000 more but 10 seconds quicker, and remarkably controlled in the way it goes about it as well. So what an amazing opportunity here at Pure McLaren at Spa-Francorchamps. What a circuit, what amazing cars. I feel very, very lucky to have been able to do this. Going way back when originally placing the order for the Senna, I dreamt of one day being able to bring them both somewhere like this, well, preferably right here to Spa, to be able to do that, to be able to drive them both, to be able to see the differences and to be able to see what you get for your money with a car like the McLaren Senna, and my mind is blown. Perhaps the LT is a little bit more fun and exciting, but the Senna is so quick, and the braking, when you get hard on the brakes in the Senna, if you didn't have the harnesses, you would feel like you're just being like, I don't know, it wouldn't work quite so well. You're completely strapped down and held in. So yeah, amazing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly had a lot of fun with both of the cars, but that is it for now. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.